Hi, I'm Marty Nemko. This is another of my short stories. This one is called Who Can You Trust? If I can find it. There it is. Okay. Of course I want to trust the science, but when they told us back in 2018 we'd have self-driving cars by 2022, I was excited. But now they say it's at least a decade away. But what really got me was when the scientists insisted we had to lock down because of COVID, and only after society was decimated they admitted it was a bad idea. So I started to wonder, if I can't trust the science, who can I trust? Well, let's start at the top. I remember Sister Mary Ignatius citing Matthew 17:20. If you have faith the size of a mustard seed, that's just a bit of faith in God, you will say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it'll move, and nothing will be impossible for you. Well, I haven't even moved molehills. I'm still a mere functionary at the water utility, and I just lost my dad to cancer after a decade. Yeah, a decade of misery that for the last month was horrific. Then there was my singing teacher. She told me that if I stayed with it and worked hard, I had professional potential. Well, I stayed with it and worked hard until I was about 25, and the most I ever got for a gig was $75. I probably spent 100 times that on singing lessons. Mostly I sang at open mic nights, for free of course. Then when I was 30, I had finally saved some money, and a friend told me he had made a lot of money by using a financial advisor in Sacramento. I went and invested most of my savings. It turns out it was a Ponzi scheme and I lost everything. At my previous job, after a layoff, my boss told us, the survivors, your jobs are safe. Well, within 3 months, dozens of us got axed. Then there was my ex-husband. He insisted, I love you, until he decided he was sick of me. And worse, in the divorce dogfight, he hid a bunch of money by having his aunt hold it for him. I only found out after the judge made me pay alimony. Now I have to hire the lawyer again and go back to court. Then there are the politicians. George Bush insisted, read my lips, no new taxes, and then he raised taxes. Barack Obama said, under Obamacare you can keep your doctor. Not. Now our government says our border is secure, yet I see videos of thousands traipsing over the border. As a good liberal, I donated to Black Lives Matter, but recently I read that $90 million of the money was missing. Not my money, but the total of the money they had collected, they had gotten donated. They since found $10 million, and a founder is accused of using it as a, quote, personal piggy bank. I believed in socialism until I read the new, well-regarded best-selling book, The White Pill. It reports that Stalin killed more than 20 million people, of his own people, 4 times as many as Hitler, and mainly by deliberate starvation. Thousands of Soviet people were even reduced to cannibalism. I love the socialist ideal, but can I really trust that the leaders, even the people, will be any different than in all the communist countries so far? On the other hand, I don't trust conservatives, let alone Donald Trump. So who can I trust? I sort of trust myself, but too often don't have the right answers, and even when I do, I don't always implement them. I witness the extra 20 pounds around my hips. I still sort of trust scientists, at least the hard scientists, not the public policy ones. Those are too subject to politicians' influence. I have the most trust in physicists, chemists, mathematicians, computer scientists. Trouble is I don't know any. So when I hear some new health recommendation, I usually ask myself, does this make common sense? I remember when the lockdown mandate occurred, and I asked my doctor what he thought, and he said it wouldn't work, that when we're out and about, we get harmless microexposures to all sorts of viruses. If we're locked down, we don't build that resistance. So when we eventually come out of isolation, we're more subject to infection. And that made sense to me, and it turns out he was right. Now there's an explosion of respiratory syncytial virus, RSV. Before I'd never even heard of RSV. Relatedly, I trust the weather forecast. It seems they've proven ever more accurate, and I just Googled it and it's true. Today's 5-day forecast is as accurate as a 1-day forecast in 1980. Thank a hard scientist. I was listening to Eric Weinstein's The Portal podcast, and he's come to the conclusion that the only entity he can trust is Trader Joe's. Could he have been only half joking? In any event, that's a short story that I call Who Can You Trust? As usual, I welcome your thumbs up and accept your thumbs down. I always look forward to your comments and especially like it if you hit the share button below. Share on your social media so that my efforts can have broader impact. And I am flattered if you choose to subscribe to my channel. In any event, I do thank you for watching. I am Marty Nemko.